Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great most honorable well, and taught me this truth, and lead the flock by example. And shalom to the elect of Yahweh Shai, the elect of Israel, starting with 144,000. All right, and this lesson, man, through the Spirit, Lord willing, I'm going to title it, what is cashless society? What is KYC? What is biometric? All right. So I had the biometric up on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with cashless society first. I'm just driving at the moment, so you know, need to take my time a little bit, make sure I'm driving safe. Cashless society. Cashless society. It's not going to work that way, so bear with me. Bear with me. Right. Cashless society. Like I said, I'm driving, so just bear with me. Right, let's go on the wiki for cashless society. In a cashless society, financial transactions are not conducted with physical banknotes or coins, but instead with digital information, usually an electronic representation of money. Now, when we say an electronic representation of money, what's the thing that comes to mind that they're pushing right now? Central bank digital currencies. All right. Now, I just watched Apostle Tar's video commenting on Trump. You know, Trump, he said it before, but recently, New Hampshire rally, he pretty much said, well, he said it, I don't know if it was in New Hampshire, but this time, but he said it recently where he said that he would basically do away with that CBDC, okay? What's this guy doing? Right. Yeah, you gotta be careful on these roads, man, because these people got demons on them, you know? People are just demon infested. Huge truck just trying to pull in the lane, no indication, and then they pulled back. All right, anyway. So, which he's gonna, if he comes into power, he's gonna go back on that, man. You know, he's a politician, and that's what politicians are known for. They're known for promises, and then breaking promises. You know, basically lying. All right, and you know, when you look at society, you look at what's going on. You're watching the news, you're keeping track of things, and you look at the financial world, what you're going to realize is that the banks, the high street retail banks, okay, all of them are closing more and more branches, okay? Why are they moving away from having branches? Why are they changing their times? Why are they changing their counter times? Why are they making it more difficult? Is because they don't want people to be able to access the old methods, okay, of transacting, which is like checks, cash, okay, going to the bank, withdrawing cash, going to the ATM, withdrawing cash. They're getting rid of ATMs too, all right? So there's a big change going on, a big push towards a cashless society, right? Now, when you use the online and you use the apps, all right, for your bank, what are you doing? You're using electronic payments, an electronic version of fiat. All right, it's on the screen. It's not physically in your hand. All right. And what they're looking to do is they're looking to centralize that and push that CBDC, which stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. All right. So I'm gonna keep reading a bit more on this. Like I said, I'm just making sure I'm, driving safe. Lord willing, I can get to my destination safely. Right? Because there's been storms in the UK, man. The Lord's jacking this place up. Right? It says. Cashless societies have existed from the time when human society came into existence based on barter and other methods of exchange, and cashless transactions have also become possible in modern times, which is what we're dealing with, using credit cards, debit cards, mobile payments, and digital currencies such as Bitcoin. Okay? So, and what is this all leading up to? This is all leading up to the MOTB, which we're going to get to that, right? But first we have to understand these key things, right? So a cashless society, in order for you to push an electronic payment system globally, right? Purely electronic and cashless, right? You need to do away with cash. So these are all methods that I listed of how they're doing that, man. How these elites are, through these banks are, partly through these banks are doing that, okay? You've got these digital coin exchanges. So that's what it means for a cashless society, all right? Now, let's go from there and go to, let's type in KYC, meaning, right? KYC, right? Know your customer, that's what it stands for. What is KYC? KYC means know your customer and sometimes know your client. The KYC check is the mandatory process of identifying and verifying the client's identity when opening an account and periodically over time, right? So, what is KYC in terms of, let's deal with it in what we're dealing with day to day. When you go to open a bank account, when you go to open a credit card, anywhere it might be, or you're taking out credit, you need to supply mandatory information about your identification. All right? In order for you to go take a loan from somewhere, okay, most places won't, unless it's like a pawnbrokers, most places ain't gonna give you like a big loan, especially if it's a business loan, they're not gonna give you it in cash. What they're gonna do, they're gonna put it in your bank account. So what do you need in order to get that? You need a bank. You need a bank account. And what do you need in order to get a bank account? You need to go through the mandatory KYC process. Who makes it mandatory? Now, I'll give you an example in the UK. The financial institutions, that covers all of them. Credit cards, insurance companies, banks, all of them, right? Maybe not insurance, but definitely banks and credit cards. I'd have to look up the insurance part, so don't quote me on that, okay? But the financial institution in the UK, the main one is called the FCA, which is known as the Financial Conduct Authority. And you've also got, I think it's the FCSC, I believe. And they're the people that they cover your deposits into your bank account up to £85,000 in the UK at the moment for your personal account, right? But we're dealing with the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, which is a government body, okay, which controls the regulation that's set by the government and legislation on these financial institutions. All right. Now I say all that to say this. That means that you can't just go to a bank account and open a bank account without a form of ID. What do you need to supply? Usually it's a photo ID. You need to show who you are, your name, etc. Okay, they might run a credit check on you. Okay, or you might need to provide proof of where you live, your address, whether it be a driving license, whether it be a bill that you pay, like a gas, electric, water, right? That's all part of the KYC process. And it's mandatory, as I said, if you're gonna open a bank account, if you're gonna work with any financial institution, right? So that's what know your customer is. Now, remember, cashless society, right? We know what that is now. Know your customer, meaning what? In order to deal with any finance, you need to be identified. Your credentials need to be tied in. So your ID, who you are, your identification, is now tied in with your money, your finance, right? So let's take the final step now. Let's go from there to biometric, right? That's a key buzzword now, biometric. Etymology, and let's take it to the modern day, because biometrics could even be like a thumbprint. It can be a lot of things, eye scans and all of that, and that's all part of it. But how does the biometric tie in with the two things that we've brought up so far? Right, let's get into it. Let me just slow down a bit. There we go. Right, biometric etymology. So this is the truth, the study of the truth. That's what etymology means. Etymology means the study of, and etym meaning truth. Meaning that we're going to find out the truth, the root of the meaning of this word, right? And I hope you can hear me, because it's, like I said, it's stormy weather. When you examine the etymology of the word biometrics, you can break it down into two Greek words. Bio, which means life, and metrics, which means to measure. Automated biometric solutions have only been available during the last few decades, following huge advances in computer processing capabilities. Pretty much this man has been going down since the 70s, man. All right. You've had great advancements in computer tech. All right. Mainly before it was, what was it? Like it was war. It was used war tools, okay? Radar tools. Like for example, let's say that you had a station that would deal with communication and had its computers, whether it be working with IBM or whatever, right? Or whoever it was back then. Okay, this is like all DARPA. This is like DARPA stuff, right? If you hit one place, what they would do is they'd want another place that was still up. That's how the internet works. You have a server, a dedicated server, right? So even if you can't just bring down the internet, even Jay Rockefeller said we should do away with the internet. They can't, right? The internet is pretty much it's a world wide web. It's a dedicated server. Now they can control things, main websites. They can put barriers on it. They can control it through the ISPs, which are the internet service providers, okay, which give you your internet, right? Whether it be AOL or whatever, Virgin Media or whatever, BT, right? But they can't fully bring it down because of the way that the structure of it works, okay? So how does that tie in? Now, if you're measuring life, okay, that means that you need to have a complete check, complete control on every aspect of someone's life, including who they are, right? So how does that tie in with prophecy? Well, Revelation 13 and 16 and 17. When you read it, let's get it, right? Let's get the precept. Let's go to Revelation. Good thing I'm reading Revelation. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which that mark there is which of the beast is, which we say the MOTB, okay, as an acronym, because they're trying to stop us from speaking that, right? Taking down our videos. This is the truth. That mark is talking about the implantable chip, all right? That this devil is gonna, these international banking elite are gonna push upon the whole world, okay? And deceive the people to take it. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you can't transact without this thing. You can't buy or sell. All right? So this thing is going to be put in you, meaning it's going to be biometric. It's going to be measuring you, your life. It's going to be put inside you, right? Cut into you. When you look into the word karagma, which is the Greek root word of the word mark there in English, Revelation 13 and 16, that's what it goes back to, what it means, right? Now, So how does that all tie in now? The MOTB is going to be tied to your identity. It's going to have your health records, your finances, all in one place. All right? They're going to be able to decide what, they're going to know who you are at all times, where you are, what to do, what you can and what you can't do. You're going to be a complete slave, a complete robot to these elites. Okay, if you take that chip, which is why we warn Scripture say not to take that chip. Okay, and it says that the elect are going to can't be deceived, and we're going to be protected by Yahushua from taking that chip. All right, because people are going to be like, well, how are you going to eat if you don't take it and everything's all through that chip? How are you going to eat? Well, Isaiah 65:13, my servant shall eat. Right? So the servants of the Lord, these elect, are going to be protected, going to be looked after, going to be eaten. We're going to be good, man. We, meaning what? The hopeful elect. We're the hopeful elect. All right? Now the KYC, again, know your customer, the mandatory identification process. So, and then what? Cashless society. So these things all tied together, that is leading up to the fulfillment of this prophecy that we just read, man. All right? So he's going to cause all. Everyone's going to get tested, man. And only the elect are going to come out on top. There's going to be resistance in different places, but ultimately the salvation is for the elect of the nation of Israel, who aren't going to take the chip. All right? So, hopefully I've covered what I wanted to cover, man. And if not, maybe I'll do an extra lesson. Okay? But with that, hope that was a bit edifying, and the spirit and power be held by Shmi Shai With that, I'm going to say shalom. Shalom to the elect.